Good morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today? Oh, we got EJ muted. There we go. He's unmuted now.
I wasn't talking anyway.
I was wondering if it was telepathic that you were talking. I didn't hear anything, so I was a little nervous.
We're excited for Friday. Ask us anything. This is our favorite day where we get to listen to you guys and answer your questions. And we got Doug Shear with us today, the half face. What's going on?
More like shoulder.
Well, it is now.
Of course, the computer said battery low.
He went like this for a second.
All right. Hey, it's
Doug,
Kyle.
Doug, put your face up halfway.
This way? This way.
Yeah. The other way. Other way, so we can have.
Oh. Hold on.
Half EJ, half Doug.
Hold on. Everything is mirrored.
Holy cow!
It's not working, but I don't know why we haven't tried that before yet. Hold on.
Yeah, but you're skinnier than me now, so. Oh man.
My head's still closer to the camera though, so.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you guys got questions to ask us before these two just end up down some other rabbit hole.
Well,
good morning, Kyle and Alex.
Right.
I love those guys. Every time I come on, they're there. Every day they're here. I love it.
They only watch on days that you're with us, though. They like check in. If Doug's not on there, they click off.
Matt, if that was true, would I be an influencer at that point? Because I always wanted to be that. Not that I can spell influencer, but I'd always wanted to, say.
It's hard to put it on your resume, as it's a long word.
I'm shopping for health insurance, and so someone in my BNI group, she's payroll through Paychecks, and they do health insurance as well. So I'm having this meeting with like 8 of their team, and they're all a bit younger than. Okay, they're a lot younger than me. So now I'm emailing back after the meeting. And I use an emoji, and in the email I go, I don't know, I'm just trying to stay young and young and cool by using emoji. Let me know if that's out of past phase or out of style. They go, oh no, it's not out of style for you. And I go, what do you mean by for you? So then I go, look, I'm just trying to be hip and cool. And then the reply back goes, okay, you use the word hip. No, you're not cool. I'm like, oh damn. So I'm old, guys. It's crazy. I'm trying to stay relevant. But it seems like guys like Alex, he doesn't try hard and he just stays relevant, right? So there's people who've got the talent. Alex
embraces who he is.
Amen.
Alex,
Amen.
The pull is looking better. Thank you for your help. So I've had to do more, but he's helped me through getting my pull clean. We can see that there's a pile of crap on the bottom and the middle, so we're clear enough for that. So we're going to vacuum today and see what happens.
Nice.
Thank you. Sealed system trainer.
The only one I know doing a weekend program right now, just the weekend program, would be Dyer.
Yep.
I think everyone else is part of a larger program. So that's the answer I have right now, is that Dyer is the only one doing a weekend program. And it's a good program. I mean, they're just the only one I know that's doing the weekend program for the sealed system.
Now, week long, shout out to TMM Academics. He's got a good hands-on training class. I've seen some of his stuff that he's doing on YouTube. And brother Richard Silka, is his instructor too. Very, very knowledgeable fellers there.
Is Mona? Does Mona have? Yeah.
Mona's got sealed system and advanced sealed system. They're in Atlanta. So Brandon's in Miami with TMM. Mona Sims and SSG Academy is in Atlanta, Georgia. They're doing their trainings at the Encompass warehouse where we had our meetup. So that's a couple that we would recommend. Also, Justin Gandy's been doing ride-alongs. If you reach out to him, he may do something a little one-off, not an official training course, but that's another option.
From our conversation with her, Alex, at least when we talked to her, it was not weekend only. It was actually part of the full week course. That could have changed, but when we talked to her, that was the last that we had, was that it was part of the larger course.
Yeah. Check them out. Let's get back to Gasper's question real quick.
Oh, yeah, we can go with that.
Gasper's on the new diet plan that I'm on through Zach. If you see my results that I posted yesterday, my face difference, that's what Doug was referring to. Hit up Zach Kreider if you're interested.
Today is Face It Friday, and I'm going to put up one because you can see how my face has changed. And I took screen grabs from our morning grinds. Yeah, you can see the change in my face too.
So
doesn't Applebee's have a menu? Doesn't Applebee's have a menu where they just add a side of broccoli to whatever protein, and then they call that their healthy choice?
Well, so we actually have a dining out guide through our program that you can read through. So like when I go to Chili's or Applebee's, there's a 6-ounce sirloin with some
the steak is like this big, and then you got like 6 pieces of broccoli.
It's more like this big. It's still kind of small, but once you're on the plan for a week, that's enough. But so I can answer Gasper. My go-to is the blackened salmon with broccoli and green beans. If you want something different, I also like the Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp, but you have to request to not have the garlic mashed potatoes.
All right. So, but you mentioned Chili's, Zach, and the reality is if you go, you got to have the chips and salsa or the chip and ranch dip, and then that's just going to mess the whole thing up, right?
Not once.
Are you saying?
I mean,
what do you mean? Do you say no to that, Zach, when you go there?
Yeah, it doesn't faze me anymore.
What? Warm chips from Chili's?
I've got a weird thing that I do when we go to Mexican, because we go to Mexican a lot, and I just get the fajita stuff, and I just don't eat the shell or the chips. But while the chips are out, I ask for a side of guacamole. Everybody looks at me weird, but I'll just sit there and take little dips of guacamole out, like just little bits. It's the healthiest thing that they can bring to you right now, and maybe a little bit of a cheat, but I'm okay with it. The proof is in the pudding that you can't have.
I'm proud of you guys, bud. I'm proud of you, Gaspar. I know that was a big thing for you guys, so I'm like super proud of you guys. And we're gonna have our conversation this weekend, and we're gonna get you in the point where if you want to eat out, we're gonna teach you the right way to do it. So all right, stuff. Let's get back to Kyle's question.
Manifold system do you guys recommend for sealed system where I can do fridges and HVAC? My personal favorite is the S-Man. If I was to do it over, I'd buy the S-Man 480V. It's called, the model is SM480 Victor. So that's my answer.
And Steve Bretz and I hate manifolds, and we use the probes, Testo or Field Piece. I really like the Field Piece probes. They've been my favorite and my go-to probes. And we do that by using core tools and a separate vacuum gauge. It is a little more expensive. It is a little more accurate, but it is a little bit smaller of carrying for what we do. It's just a method that works really well for me.
All right. So Zach, let me just ask you a question. For a moment, let's just assume you're sort of a gadgety tech guy and you just like the latest and greatest of everything. I don't know if I know that that's you, but I'm pretty sure it is. How often how many sealed systems do you say, I am so glad I have the best of the best that will catch anything?
All the time, because it
helps in every sealed system repair.
Because the recall rate on me versus the recall rate, I can see, and Steve Bretz will tell you the same thing. It's more about the data than the gadget. So the data that comes from that type of vacuum setup and that comes from that type of pressure setup, you can see those small nuances in the system that you wouldn't have been able to see with a slightly less accurate system. And you also have, if you're using the hoses as vacuum, there's already oil in your hoses. That oil doesn't go away. They're not vacuum rated. And so there's little inconsistencies. And when we're dealing with the system that's such a small volume, those little inconsistencies actually make a bigger difference in such a small volume system. So it's more about the data. That's the data nerd in me,
Well,
not
okay,
the
so
tech
you
nerd.
so you're justifying buying the latest brand or whatever. But what I'm saying is, what type of refrigerators do we work on that would overcome that callback rate or minimize it? Is it the LG? Is
Oh,
it
the LG, it
the
would
Viking?
absolutely. The LG and the built-ins, it's super handy. If you're not a part of the Sealed System Servicer group, go over, check out Steve Bretz's setup. He's posted it several times.
Mhm.
His setup and my setup are almost identical in the way we're set up, and it just works. Like that's the thing. Like it just works, you know. And so yeah, because him and I are both convinced that the reason that a lot of the LGs are failing is the moisture, which you compensate for in vacuum, right? That's what takes care of it. That's where it happens. So if you can get a very accurate micron reading, right, you can get that vacuum pulled down far. Him and I both pull for about 40 minutes, half hour to 40 minutes to make sure that the moisture is gone.
Does that mean that you replace less components like evaporators or condensers because you're able to recognize when you've pulled it
You
down?
may have to replace them. You're going to get better indicator if it needs to be replaced in that, because it's your decay rate in vacuum it's going to go up at a much faster rate if you need to replace an evaporator or a condenser, right? And you're going to recognize it a lot sooner with that type of fine-tuned tool.
All right. So one last question. Is it considered shotgunning if LG's covering the parts to replace the evaporator and condenser as soon as you know that you might have, some sort of restriction when you're pulling it down? Is it just better to replace the components and be done in an hour and 15 minutes?
If
Or is it better to
LG's
stay there?
If LG's telling you to do it, do it. I have no problem with that, but I still want to make sure that I've done my due diligence. And Steve Bretz will tell you the same thing. He wants to make sure he's done his due diligence, because even though there's times where LG is paying them to do it, he also wants to make sure that he's not going to have to go back, or another technician doesn't have to go back. There's times where Steve Bretz is driving 3 hours to get to one of these jobs. They're paying them a ridiculous amount of money to
That's
go.
smart. Yeah.
And so we're just making sure that we're taking every possible precaution to not have to go back. Yeah, it takes a little more time, but when you think about the cost of gas and the cost of a recall and the cost of, a lost customer, whatever, I think it's worth it to take the extra time on the front end.
Alex wants to know, or Kyle wants to know, what group was that again?
Appliance Sealed System Servicers. I will, if you're not already a part of it, Kyle, we'll send you a invite to the group after this.
Brett's is BRETZ.
Yes.
We also had Scott Holt and Mona Sims joining us. Shout out.
Morning.
Oh,
hey,
Mona,
while
Mona
we have
heard
you,
us talking about sealed system training without even being logged in.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Mona, while we have you, because the last time we talked to you, your sealed system training was part of a larger program, not just a weekend thing. If we are wrong in that, drop a comment and correct us, Mona. Is your sealed system just weekends, or is it part of the larger week-long, 2-week, 3-week, 4-week program? Let us know in the comments so that we can clarity for everyone.
I don't know. Andrew, what's up, man? Everybody's saying me too, please. I don't know what that means.
They all want in the group. I'm just gonna go send a mass.
Oh, is this Mona says it's just the weekend.
Oh, it is just the weekend. Okay, so either we remembered wrong or whatever.
So Matt Harris,
yeah.
Mona Sims has a weekend sealed system class, SSG Appliance Academy. Drop the link, Mona.
Where are they located?
Atlanta.
They're in the Atlanta area. I think they're doing it out of the Encompass building.
Kyle, you're already a member, bro.
Come on, Kyle. Wake up.
Do they travel for training?
I wouldn't think she'd be beyond that if you called her. Mona, if Doug paid you enough,
right,
what would that number be in a private message to Doug Shear?
Amen.
To bring your training to
I got 6 guys. Love to get them.
Connecticut. There it is. Right there for a weekend sealed system class. Matt Harris. Calling out Matt Harris. She's looking for your registration today. She'll do it tomorrow. Starting tomorrow if you sign up today. That's false, but maybe. Yes, they are at Encompass. Hey, since we ain't got no other questions, can we chat about my topic?
Sure, buddy.
Yesterday, did you hear it, Doug?
I'm not sure yet.
So
because it's not on my Google Calendar.
Yeah, you got to get that Calendly link.
Yeah,
I was telling you about, so I can put stuff on your calendar. So James Pivacek in my beta mastermind group, he brought up a thought in our weekly mastermind discussion, and I thought that would be an excellent topic for this morning grind. And it was, no questions right now, Andrew. We're talking. We'll get to your question next. So, yeah, handle this. Mona says June 4th and 5th is the next one, and yes, they will travel. Figuratively speaking, if you was to move in to your area, next door to your business, or, theoretically, you're moving to town, and you wanted to beat your company, how would you do it? In other words, to rephrase, the thought is, what is your weakness that leaves you open to competition to get you? Now, all of our competitors are watching, because Appliance Alliance Morning Grind, all 19 of you watching right now, encompasses the entire nation. Okay? So share what you want to share. Or don't share what you don't want to share. I know I got some competition that watches. Shout out to Steven. What up, man? It really opened my eyes up to, like, what we do in the mastermind groups is we come together first and we talk about our vision, our long-term goals. Where do we want our business to be 5 years, and then 1 year, and then quarterly goals to get to that point. And then lastly, we break it up into weekly action items that we can do to bite chunks off. And a lot of it is improving the weaknesses. Where do you want to get stronger so that you can work on it incrementally and it's not as intimidating? What is it that you need to work on? So answer it however you want.
I'm gonna see if I can screen share this, because I'm gonna say that other than Doug, 90% of businesses are not doing this. This was a post that I put on my wall yesterday, and I actually put in the Alliance group. But it's follow through, it's follow up with a customer. So let me see if it's gonna let me show this or not.
All good, Andrew. All good. I'm having a hard time, brother.
So this right here, this is a handwritten note, right?
Yeah.
From the sales rep at a shoe store. I'm telling you, 5 days after I bought shoes.
How'd you
Following
feel,
up.
Zach? How'd you feel getting that note?
Oh, it's amazing.
Amazing, right?
Like
love that.
literally amazing. And my wife got it and she goes, I can't believe they did that.
Yep.
She's like, I actually cannot believe that they did that. That was amazing.
Makes
You
you feel
know?
special.
Yeah.
Andrew shares a different version of that same question. Answer however you want. Share your answers, guys and girls. We'll post them or not post them. Tell us not to post it if you don't want it on the live. His similar version of this question is, what do you do to make your industry better?
Sorry.
Joe Silly says, have enough texts to have a timely service response.
Feel
That's
there's
one of
a
mine. That's one of
bunch
mine.
out there struggling with that right now.
Maybe, you know, that one there's tough because you find a guy, but he's not up to your caliber.
Yeah.
And now you've got, you know, you're starting to shake down what you're striving for to get the timely service. It's a real tricky balance, man.
You think what you can also think about like this when you're starting your business. What do you want to do that sets you apart?
Mm-hmm.
Like Zach shared, that caring relationship with the customer. Now that'll keep a customer, and if Zach shares that, it may draw some other people in that they care that much. And yeah, get into them faster. I'll tell you what. Before we go on to the other answers, I got a competitor in my area that's got 27 texts. Really, it's like 9 or 10 or something. But I'm consistently booked a day or two. Shout out to Mike Carson. Hit him up if you want to get booked. I got 2 guys, and I'm booked up right there, right? The problem is when I get booked 2 to 3 or 4 days, people will cancel. So you might say, oh, you're only booked a day or two? Okay, well, that's my sweet spot. I'm okay with that. I've got people that book tomorrow and cancel by the end of the day today.
Yep.
When I send them their time frame because they got somebody to come today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but I'm starting to notice it. Okay. So having more texts would be one thing, right? I can get there faster. If I could get there faster, I might get more. Maybe those are good customers to have. Maybe they ain't. I don't know them yet because they found the fast guy. We're not the fast ones. We try to prioritize and get there in a day or two, which is reasonable, right? We show up on time. We're professional. You know, all of those things we do. How would I beat me? I mean, some people will pick you because your price might be lower. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've got an ungodly response time that you can just get there right now. A lot of these customers, you notice they seem like they think that you're sitting there waiting for them to call.
Yeah, right.
Like, I should probably call this guy because he needs my business.
Right.
Waiting. Like, can you be here like within 2 hours? Like 3 hours? No, that's not. I'm going to find somebody else. Mm-hmm. I'll just buy a new one, you know? Some people are like that. So let's get to some comments while you guys talk if you want.
I'm actually biting my tongue because I am in the midst of all of that right now. So I'll just ramble for an hour. But yeah, it is a big seesaw of balance. And again, I'm like you, EJ, where I see comments where people go, yeah, I'm booked out for 2 weeks. And I'm like, you might be, but you've got to be experiencing that cancellation rate that we are. And you know, I remember not too long ago, I did like a customer loyalty laundry room session on Zoom and hoping to get a lot of input from people, but I didn't. The reality is I don't know that the loyalty is the same as it once was. I just don't think it is.
How'd you know I was
People
talking
are
about
willing
you,
to trade it up.
There's his competitor.
Oh, it is?
He's only got 11. It's not 9 or 10 or 12. It's 11. But
it feels like 21 to you, right? Hey, feels like 21. Yeah.
It's all fun, brother. Hey, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
But that is the perfect point, and I think that's where you're heading with this, Doug. It doesn't matter the size of your company. It doesn't matter how fast you respond. Customers are customers, and so that's why I brought up the thing with the, I mean, like your leave behind for customers is phenomenal. What you guys leave behind is just, it blows my mind the way you do it. The other piece of that, like that was literally like the experience the whole time. The leave behinds that we had while we were inside the shoe store was amazing. But then 5 days later to get like this handwritten note, right? And I know the Sealy's told me that they put their customers on a like a newsletter list or whatever. So like that's a good thing. It's top of mind marketing. But it's these things that are just like that little 1%. How do you get that 1% better? And I gotta say, man, 10 years of doing this and listening to my previous mentor and just seeing some of the things that are going on in the world, customer loyalty, it's just not there in certain spaces.
It is, but it's not like it once was. We just have to recognize that and not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
We still have to go to a certain, level. We have to go as level as we can and not take it personally if they don't, because the culture and mindset of the newer generations are not the way it once was.
Correct. Correct.
But can I just, and I'll do this mini rant. I will go so fast with my Jesus story really quick. Okay. So I have been so frustrated through this whole COVID period of overall customer service everywhere. Walmart, Dunkin' Donuts, the doctor's office. I'm just tired of inadequate customer service where I have to do their job or they mess up. And I know they're going to mess up. I see it, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to encroach into their territory. And I want to, you know what I mean? So I went to Wild Wings, Buffalo Wild Wings, to pick up some wings for my daughter who wanted to try to Uber it and pay like $15 for delivery. I go, I'll just go pick them up. So I drive to the parking lot and it's empty. When the hell before the pandemic was Buffalo Wild Wings empty? It was never, because there's screens on every wall and it was chaos in there. I walk in and where the host is, there's this kid and he's got this scraggly hair and I can't see his eyes. And I'm pretty sure he's the host, but he just stands there. So I walk up to him and I go, hey, I'm here to pick up my phone order. And he goes like this. So I'm thinking he's getting the hair out of his eyes, but I go, the phone order, where's that at? And he's really trying to point me without using words to where the phone order is. And I look down the aisle and I see a metal rack that says Grubhub on it. And I'm smart enough to realize that that's where my phone order is. So I take it upon myself after being shushed over with his head. I grab my wings and I leave. I am tired of shitty customer service. I'm tired of it. It's everywhere. So I think that our industry, between UASA and Appliance Alliance, we as a whole industry, hundreds and 1,000 companies at least, need to really focus on knocking it out of the park so they have this incredibly different experience. So I don't know if that's standardizing things, but we got to get everybody who hears us have a great phone script. Remember that you make a promise, you follow through with the promise. If you can't, you apologize first. You don't justify defense. There's just so much we can really do to jump on this bandwagon of this post-COVID chaos.
You're now the host with the most
wings. Well, I mean, they are pretty good wings there. So, but anyway, I'm thinking that we really can stand out about the rest because every day we're a customer at least 10 times a day, and we're getting crapped on all the time. What is going on as I'm ranting? I think the one. Yeah. That's a rarity, Andrew. That's a rarity.
Oh, there we go. I wanted to go back to this big comment here. Let me read what Scott Holt said. And we've heard TK talk about this. They're all weirdos in Richmond. All right, that's enough. He said, we look at each other as family. We eat together. We communicate daily. We share work, help each other on jobs. We even prayed together. We all have agreed if we had a few more techs, this would help getting to customers faster. I'm not sure any good company in Richmond area that is not booked out a week. And, TK shared that's his problem is it's booked out 2 weeks. It's a good problem, but it is a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if another good company came by, people might say, oh, I'll go to them. They're only 2 or 3 days out.
Yeah.
While True Appliance Solutions and Richmond Appliance guys and whatever Matt's is, they're up here. I might go to here for 3-day service. Maybe. But also, Lexington area, I want this. Steven, let's start it. Let's start it out, Steven. Let's get breakfast or lunch sometime.
I thought Kyle owned his own business.
No, he works for a company.
Kyle talks and acts like an owner, man. He is a good kid, man.
I'm trying to put his comment up, but Amen Doug keeps popping up.
I'm not touching anything, so I don't know what you're doing.
It's glitching on me.
It's Jesus.
There it is. Kyle says, I try every day to give off the best example of good service tech. I don't own the business I work for, but I treat it like it's my company. It's a huge situation in America. Like I said the other day, you never know who you are talking to. They could be a huge reviewer like me. It's all about doing the best you can every day. Treat each other like you want to be treated. I'll tell you on that note, like Zach's example of taking care of people, right? How do you get across that you take care of people to that level before they know you? People say reviews don't matter. Now, if Kyle feels like he got great service, or Zach feels like this shoe company really appreciates him so much that they sent him a card in the mail 5 days later. If Zach went online and gave a 5-star review and bragged about it, do you think that half of your customers ain't checking reviews before they book? Half of them are definitely just calling the first number they see, right? You want to be on the top of the page at Google where Steven is. That's where you're going to get 11 texts and everybody calling you. But if you're number 2 on the page, like EJ, some of the people are going to see the reviews and like it too.
I'm gonna step on some toes. There's 2 comments here that are perfect examples of where I think our industry and I think generations as a whole have kind of stepped off. Now, it's a blanket statement. This isn't true in every case, but I feel like there's an issue. We have a bunch of technicians out there running around thinking they're business owners. And that's where the broken promises come in, because they're technicians, not business owners. Okay. There is a bunch of one-man operations that don't have the mindset of business owners. They have the mindset of technicians.
Okay. All right. Clarification. Okay. That's what you meant, right?
Yes.
There's a guy who owns a business, but he acts like a technician and not a business
owner.
I got you. Okay.
Again, not true in every case, but there are plenty of examples of that. Okay. So it's good to be well-rounded, to be educated, to be professional. But if you're leading the business, you also need to be a business owner. So with that, then we move into where to go. Kyle, if only everyone thought like that. If you're not making the boss money, what's the point of you being here? Your job is to make that man money. The problem is so many business owners have treated their employees like cash cows and not teammates in this, that's where all the one-man operations are coming up.
No, I get it, but here's the deal. When Kyle does his job, but then also has the mindset and the heart that it's his own business, like that handwritten card, Zach, even if the corporation said, write these cards out when you feel led, or write this card out every time, even though it may not be completely authentic, it seems authentic with that handwritten card.
Oh, for sure.
Okay? It's an effort to go above and beyond, because I can tell you if I did that with my technicians, 4 of them would go, F you, that's not my thing. Kyle is drinking the Kool-Aid where he's at and treating it like it's his own. It's a very fine line there, but I agree with you pretty much wholeheartedly on that. You know,
that's what I'm saying. There's too many bosses out there and not leaders out there, right?
Yeah.
And so we've ended up with a very fractured industry where we have all these one-man companies that have cropped up because YouTube taught me, or I'm a great technician and I know better. And you know what it all boils down to? Treating people better. Because I feel like if a bunch of these one-man would come together under someone who was actually a good leader, and you'd have one company, then customers would get served better. I could be entirely wrong, but it's a trend that I'm seeing. We're seeing all these splinter companies come off where if they combined under leadership that treated them well, that led them well, and they all served customers well together, holy crap, the industry would change.
Yeah, but don't you think, Zach, that the Appliance Alliance and those people who not just watch, but engage those one-man shows, that they could hear and see and witness and hear testimony of the level of excellence that we need? I think that right now, thanks to social media and the Appliance Alliance, there's an opportunity for that one-man show to go, hey, stop looking at the dishwasher in front of you, but look at your whole business. Look at 5 years from now. This is the wisdom that everybody's pouring out, right?
That's why I'm saying I was gonna piss some people off. It is a challenge that's out there. That's the reality that's out there. We have to look at the reality that we are in currently and figure out a way forward. And that's what we are trying to do with the.
And I disagree with Andrew's statement here. And we know Andrew well enough that he's a big picture guy and he strives and he'll be successful. But there's a lot of dudes out there that have been hacking and cheating and they have a bad reputation. And I'm like, well, one day they'll be out of business. 20, 30 years later, they're still doing it. And they make us, you can't worry about it, but they do we take a hit in our armor. But
I think there's still transactional customers out there that value cheap, quick work, whether the quality is there or the relationship is there or not. And I think that's what you're
bottom feeders.
And that's what Doug was talking about earlier, though, because those are the same customers that'll MF you up and down, even if you provide good service. They'll MF you up and down. So just understanding what the reality is. And that's why I brought up the point that I brought up. Like, it's not that I'm 100% saying that all these companies should go back together, because I think they can recruit talent and I think they can move forward with this new generation. But I'm saying that's what our current reality is. And we need to face that current reality before we can take steps forward. If you don't know where you are and you don't know what you're trying to achieve, you're just going to keep going backwards.
And I'll tell you, Zach, maybe my mindset is lining up with what you're talking about. So at Action Appliance, my mindset is like, if I can find or grow a very experienced tech and give them phone support, part support, tech support, give them a 401k, health insurance, and try to pay them well enough that they can really have a great lifestyle, but not take home the stress of business and paying the bills and all that stuff. I mean, wouldn't it be great to make $90,000 or $100,000 a year and work 45 hours a week and have vacation time and sick? That's where I'm striving for, 100%. To say, come work for us and we'll take care of you, and we'll do this as a partnership in a way.
So I'm an older millennial, and the generation, I was just talking with my friend Jennifer about this yesterday. The generation behind us is not looking for the same things that we were as millennials, is not looking for the same thing that Gen X was looking for. They are looking to be home with their families more. They do want to do less. They're tired of the burnout because they saw what our generation went through. So Gen X and millennials, get it figured out. We know what burned us out. Let's stop burning out the generation behind us, because those same patterns don't work. We know they don't work. Why do we keep trying to put a square peg in a round hole? Come on. And Doug, like, that's we are in agreement. You're saying exactly the way that we need to start heading. How do we communicate that to these technicians that we want to grow? How do we recruit that in this industry? And then how do we continually, because listen, time and consistency is what make things happen. And so when people tend to get frustrated or tend to leave, it's because they haven't seen the time and consistency within that system. So that's a challenge to anyone out there running a company. It's time and consistency. And how are you going to be consistent over time with your teams?
Yeah.
I knew I stirred up a hornet's nest.
Well, I'll tell you, the way you said it may have came off different than the way you meant it. Andrew was one of the guys that was a top tech for a company that thought of it the way Kyle is, but at a much higher level of experience. He was one of the people that when we met him as a tech, it's like, this guy gets the business. And now that he's on his own, running his own business, he's trying to stay true to the tech side for the quality of service and work ethic that the customers are going to come back to, while trying to build a business. And he's experiencing the struggles of that journey, being the only person in the business. But I do think he gets it.
Oh, no doubt about it, because I know Andrew's boss a little bit as well, or ex-boss. So they're both good people with good values, with the same goals. And Andrew was feeling the need to bust free because he had a different approach. But there's no way that Andrew, the tech he was on day one, to the tech he was on year 5, to the tech he is today, Andrew keeps growing and becoming a more amazing tech. He is now here as a brand new business owner here, and he will be a different Andrew 5 years from now. And may we pray and hope that this guy is still in business and is focused like he is right now. But he will be a different guy. He will have a different mindset, and there's no way Andrew can try to assume he understands what his old boss was going through. But he might be right about some things, but he will have clarity through experience and his own wisdom. Because some people don't collect wisdom in their life. They just stay who they are. Andrew is a wisdom collector. So I look forward to seeing where Andrew's mindset is years from now. And it's not about I told you so. It's about how he turns. I love watching EJ. EJ is so fast at doing what he wants to do. He sets goals. I look forward to the next problem he comes up with, because the outcome is going to be unique to EJ's outcome, just like Andrew. So I'm having so much fun watching everybody do their thing.
Oh, for sure. I was not picking on Andrew, by the way, because Andrew is one of the ones that's going into this with the right mindset. He is trying to collect wisdom. He is trying to become better. I'm talking about there is a bunch of guys out there that still have the tech mindset that have no business. And I don't care if that pisses people off. There is people out there that have no business being business owners. None whatsoever. Now, you're a guy like Andrew that is really trying and really striving and taking the steps. I have no problem with that. No problem with that whatsoever. I will cheer you on. I will champion you.
But well, you had to comment on Andrew's comment, because that's who Andrew is. Andrew has always been bold in the experience I have to say what's on his mind.
Right.
And he's always listening and analyzing after. And rarely do I ever see him get stubborn and stick to his guns, and then everyone's watching and going, yeah, that guy's just getting defensive. That's not Andrew. So I love it, man. Andrew is the right guy to try it on his own. And like I said, it's going to be impressive to see what happens, the wisdom that comes from him.
And
Doug,
I hope
you're
more
looking
take
for a
that
text, aren't you?
mindset.
Hey, Kyle, if you want to pay like $5 for a gallon of gas and buy a house that's a shack for $250,000, I will pay you $100,000 and I would hire you in a heartbeat. So come on up to Connecticut, man. And if you got an accent, you'll get a lot more tips because they'll feel bad for you.
He's from Illinois, so that's off the table.
Oh, no accent?
No accent.
You got plenty
Well,
of an accent.
Yeah, but if he works on
We
it,
just
though, he
talked
can
about
work on it. Yeah, I'm from Illinois.
He got the
Illinois has
Chicago
an
accent.
accent.
That don't count. Nobody likes
Oh,
that.
no, that's like mafia shit, right? So, all right.
We'll whack you with a cannoli. It's all right.
We finally caught up with the comments. Apparently, enough people went to YouTube and the change you made on Facebook. We've not bogged down on the comments. We've had them coming. Thank you, everybody. We love it.
Yeah,
Sorry we can't read them all out loud. We get the conversation going and we just get rolling. But we're reading them, okay?
Yeah, I hope more take Andrew's mindset, and I hope more, like right here, I hope more take Alex's mindset, that they learn to be a good leader and a good business owner. And that's why I stirred the hornet's nest the way that I did, because I knew it would get people thinking, am I that way? Did I do that? Oh crap, what am I? Because it's a chance to take a look in the mirror and go,
that's what
wait,
Andrew
no, I'm doing it this way. And that's I'm always going to stir the crap like that.
Andrew likes asking the questions that
And I like stirring the crap.
are polarizing. And sometimes I wonder if Andrew he'll ask a question and whatever side you take, he just takes the opposite side just for fun. Because sometimes it's like he disagrees with every single thing I say. I'm like, is he doing this for fun? Or is he really that different? But it's fun, man. It makes interesting conversations. And if a mature person can be open-minded and listen to somebody else's point of view, like Alex was saying, you learn something. And see, he says, I do try to screw with people and pick the opposite. No, he says, I do try to continue to grow. But I know I have a long time before I'm running a decent bit. No, man.
The difference is in mindset. You are so much better off than so many one-man shows out there, right?
Here's his real answer. No, I don't, EJ. I agree with everything you don't say. So, as soon as I say it, he disagrees. I mean, to some degree, you need some people like that challenge you. Zach disagrees with almost everything I say off camera. On camera, he plays along and lets me think I'm smart, but I'm not. I'm like Andrew.
That's funny.
I want to be like this guy when I grow up.
But talk about that. I mean, talk about the mirror that I highlight. I mean, that's what I'm doing by saying the polarizing things that I say. It's that same mirror that I put with you. So share about that. Share what's come out of that.
Well, I mean, it's no different than what Alex is saying up here. People say things that you're not thinking about.
This is great right here.
We didn't read it, but we talked about it. He says, I had no clue about anything in business other than add 20% on everything. And that's a myth. I guess I've concentrated on being a good tech for so long, I didn't know to learn to be a good leader or business owner. And that is what most one-man shows do. That's the E-myth. If you haven't read the book, we've opened so many doors literally by just asking questions. And that's what we're trying to do here is bring the conversation up and talk about it. There's things that I've thought very strongly about. And when I share something or I hear other people sharing, share. Even if you think you're going to get picked on, share. I've learned the error of my ways by people correcting me. And I've learned things just by other people sharing. Like, hey, I might try that. and it's like Doug's talking, giving me credit more than I deserve, maybe. But
Nope.
I I take the advice. I stir it around in my head at 160 miles an hour,
Mhm.
and then whatever pops out, I try to take action. And with my mastermind group, it becomes an action item. And if it works, it works. I build on it. If it don't work, I analyze it and see what happened. And having the people in the corner that all right, yeah.
I,
So
I
having
appreciate you,
people in your
Alex.
corner that challenge you. You know what I mean? If you're offended by people challenging your ideas or easily offended, maybe look at it. And it's back to the whole it's you until it's not you, right? Uh, Sometimes Zach and Andrew might aggravate me a little bit because it's like you always daggone challenging, but I don't react to that. I say, is there merit to it? And a lot of times there is. So I listen. And you know, I used to be the guy as a younger technician in my 20s that would shut people up before they were done telling me something because I already know it, right? I already know I already know. Yeah, it's good. I got it. Uh, don't shut people up. You never know when they're about to tell you something that you didn't know. And I try to share that now that, hey, something is there's something to this. This person believes this for a reason. Maybe they're right. And be
Let me
open
just
minded to it.
let me just say something, EJ. When Alex was doing those Thursday night roundtables and stuff, and I first met you, one time I thought I went too far and gave you too many compliments, like maybe you thought I had a man crush on you or something like that. But just again, first impression. So what everything that you said, there's one thing that stands out that I never really realized that you're great at, and that's what is at the foundation of who you are, is you're extremely humble. You try not to take things personally. So many people in my life, including myself, sometimes someone says something and it really hits you right in the heart. And it causes you to sort of shut down. You take it personally, you get defensive. And then some of those people can then go from there and then open up their mind again and look for truth in something that wasn't maybe delivered as well as it should. I really never see you skip a beat. And whether you're in an admin in Appliance Alliance and somebody's being a real big douche, in the most kindest way, you say, "Hey, please, I hear what you're saying, but let's be more professional. Let's be more respectful of one another." You don't take things personally, at least that I've ever seen. And that gives you a chance to have that open mind, like you said, to put it in your brain and go, what was truth in that very unhealthy comment that I can learn from? And that's why you are who you are. And I will never kiss up to you and man crush you as this much ever again, because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. All right, my friend.
The, 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 I love you, man. I love
I
you.
love you too, brother. You're impressive.
Andrew says you do have a tendency to flatter people almost to a fault. I'll tell you though,
And
honestly.
I got a guy working at Action that's like Andrew's twin, and he says the same thing. Deal with
So
it, Andrew.
we was talking in our uh, presentation that we made at Encompass in Georgia, right? And the whole basis was, how to treat customers to close more sales, right? And the basis of it was build likability and trust. Doug's got the likability thing down. He pays attention and listens to people, and he identifies the things he likes, and he openly shares it, and it comes off, however you take it, but it is flattery. Hey, he he's very open in sharing his opinion when it's good, and when it's bad, when he's got constructive, he's very constructive about the delivery, and it works. And I'd say that's why Doug was one of the top guys in selling at his business when he was a tech, and that's why people listen to him now. The ones that don't may have to replace him with Kyle.
I want to go.
Exactly.
I want to go back to this one. So I want to
Yeah.
talk about this for just a second. So Andrew and
Yeah,
I
wanted
had
to do that too.
Andrew and I had a conversation early on, and I told him, I said, "Man, I think you jumped a little too early." Because he asked me my honest opinion. I said, "I think you jumped a little too early." I said, "But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be here to support you. I'm going to be here to encourage you. I'm going to be here to pick on you. I'm going to be here to do all those things to build into you, to see you be successful, right?" Because he asked my honest opinion. He said, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "I think you're an idiot. I think it was just a little bit too soon. But sometimes the way that we are, right, we know ourselves, and we might just have to take a jump because that's what's going to propel us to the next level." And so seeing where you are, Andrew, you are one of those people who just had to take that leap to be propelled to that next level. So again, just like we've talked about in private conversations, like I'm going to keep encouraging you. You are on the right track. Keep plugging in. Don't let your head get too big, but keep plugging away and keep seeking that knowledge every day, and you are going to succeed 100%.
Total wisdom, Zach. Total wisdom, because we know that Andrew will succeed, and maybe he did jump early, and maybe he'll have some hiccups and valleys, but he'll overcome it because we already knew he had the mindset to pull it off. So that's great points. Who's the Facebook user that's calling me out on the story I shared like months ago about needle nose pliers in 1989?
George
Who's that?
Dempsey.
George
Damn, George, you remember that story? Son of, I am gonna be careful what I share in my honesty. Apparently, gosh.
Hey, there's no expiration date apparently too.
I was 20 years old with a mullet, man. You know, you got to cut me some slack, George. I learned from that.
I can't picture you with a mullet. That I need pictures.
Everyone had it, dude. I'll try to find a picture.
This is a well worded example of Doug, and I don't even know if he meant to say it like that. Doug is a people builder.
100%.
You know what? When you think about how to train any body or anything like a dog, or even, you know, they say there's positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, and the people builder qualities of Doug, he builds on the positives. When he has to, he'll give the constructive criticism, but he wants that positive reinforcement. I don't even know if you think about it, Doug, but I think that's one of your biggest strong points is you focus on the positives and you build them.
Thanks.
I love it.
That is a great point, Scott.
Being one of 5 kids, we learned to swim by mother chucking us into the pool with no life jacket. When I started my company, I was literally jumping into the pool with no life jacket. I had no choice but to succeed.
And that's almost an identical conversation to what I said with Andrew. I said, well, you're in a pool with no life jacket, and we're here to support you along the way.
Mhm.
We'll coach you from the sidelines, and we'll help encourage you, and we'll point you in the right direction. And we want to see you succeed. If you ask an honest opinion, you're going to get an honest opinion. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to support you along the way, right?
That's right. That's right. Big fans.
Andrew says, I won't shame anyone for not having enough tools in the kit.
At least to their face.
Again, his consistency for honesty is amazing, right, Andrew? I love that.
Yeah. Hey, but back to that
almighty.
point that Andrew was saying, trying to start by not, or what? How do you say it? Let me get back to it. Where was it?
This one.
Yeah. He said he's hoping my business plan isn't me taking the wrong approach, but it felt very strongly about it, and I'm hoping I'm not wrong. And I just want to say that's what we all do. When you're on your own and you're starting this thing, or even when you've got 14 techs covering 3 states, and you're running the show, right? You're making decisions. You hope you're not wrong, and you hope you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, and you hope it works. And you do your due diligence, you do your studying, but at some point you just jump in the pool and see what happens.
The secret sauce that makes that work, though, is being humble enough to know when you have to make a pivot.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, because 9 times out of 10, it's not a big, like, flip the script, I'm doing business completely wrong. It's just a, oh, I'm not kind of doing that right. Let me just make a little pivot. And that's what you see over there at Action, right? Ooh, hey, we're just like this little bit off. And so they just make like a little tweak, right?
Mhm.
So it's being humble enough to know, yep, I was crazy. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm making the best decision that I can, but then being humble enough when that mirror comes up to you. And that's why I brought it up the way I did. When that mirror comes up to you, ooh, maybe I got to just like make a little tweak and make it better.
Well, let me just be really honest with you guys. A few weeks ago, I started to think of just really do that reevaluation of the company. And I started to be concerned a little bit about the authenticity from the top down to the bottom and the newest people and our approach. And I was not feeling good about it. So it's just a matter of adjustments and pivoting, right? And tweaking. But isn't it crazy how mindset can go from making a small adjustment to like, I suck, we're the worst company ever. And it's terrible. And it's weird how it kind of coincided with I've been so busy meeting with individuals and small groups in our company, trying to reset that mindset a little bit and not being on with you guys or not talking with you guys as much that I started to doubt myself. And I'll tell you, Friday, Saturday, Monday, I just thought I am terrible. I can't show my face anywhere. I got to stop talking because I got to prove. And it's just a feeling. It's a moment. But the things in the works. We've got good processes and we're doing good work. But I really was crapping on myself. Then I go to my BNI meeting yesterday, and I do my presentation because it was my turn. And I think I got authentic encouragement and support for the good things that for a little while, for a few days, I was dismissing as not true, as not real. And I wasn't going to quit or anything, but I can't believe that I can go from feeling great and confident with a goal in mind to saying I suck. I'm letting down the Action Appliance.
That's why
And
community
so
is
today
important.
too, thank you guys for except for Andrew's comment. Thank you guys for your encouragement because I know not a lot has changed. We're still who we are, and we're not terrible, and we're not great, and we're going to keep plotting along. But man, how emotions can tie into stuff. So if you're not in a mastermind group, you need to get in one because when you're lying to yourself and you're feeling like shit, you need people around you not to lie to you, but to. And if you're not as great as you should be, you have to celebrate the things you are freaking good at. That's what motivates you and keeps you going to the next step because you can't be perfect out of the gate other than EJ. But that's
I'm definitely
that's
not perfect.
no, I know.
Well, and that's it. He's got people that he's plugged into that are willing to tell him the truth, and whether that's good or bad, right? Like if EJ's feeling like, wow, I'm the worst person in the world, he has someone going, no, you're not. It's just a little pivot, dude. You got this.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Or, hey, bro, that's like a little extreme. Let's not like go that far. He's plugged into the community. He's plugged into mentors. He's plugged into his mastermind that helps him get. It's an accurate mirror, then, right?
Amen.
And don't take offense to the sexist comment, but guys are pretty straightforward most of the time and tell you what they think, right? Like ladies will lie to each other. So you get your hair done and then you go to the meeting or to church and it's terrible. All the other ladies will lie to you and go, oh, did you get your hair done? It looks great. And then like you see a picture 3 weeks later and you go, what the hell was I thinking? All the ladies lied to them. Here in this group, we can be honest with each other. We can say, hey, you're doing really good. You're doing good. Hang in there. We're not placating. We're being honest, because that's what we need. That's what we need from each other. So
Public service announcement.
Oh yeah, smash the like button. Someone smashed the like button in Facebook. That was hilarious. There was
I
like
hit the
500.
like button. I'm the only one that's liked the video on YouTube. We've got a bunch of people watching. Come on, go to YouTube and like it. Okay, do the things. Now, where was we at? Andrew says, anyone watching my journey have been family I need. Thank you all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Scott,
same here,
TJ,
Andrew.
Zach, Doug, TK. We love you, man. We want to help you. We want to be
We
part
do.
of your story, like Doug wanted to be part of mine.
Amen.
This is Jamie Garcia.
I prefer honesty, but it depends on your personality. Some guys need some wind in their sails to perform.
Yeah.
Jamie, no, it wasn't a bad thing. It just made me laugh. It made me smile. It's all good. Smash that like button away. It was fun to see about 10,000 little thumbs up going by on my screen. I enjoyed it. Thank you, man.
Okay, what was this about, Miss anyways, I don't want to ignore this. My apps asked a question. We're over an hour, so we can try to answer this real quick, and I got to go. It's been great day, guys. Do the things. My app says, how are you dealing with warranty companies wanting to go to a flat rate? Me personally, I've got one that I work for that does a flat rate. That's 210 warranty. They don't really keep me busy. I'm looking at canceling. They were the first one that gave me anything. I've dropped any of the lower ones. And if you still need the work, just deal with it until you don't. That's my advice. Find the ones that offer better rates or hourly rates, and then utilize that accordingly. Mike Sneed's got a good. Mike Sneed and the Appliance Boot Camp's got a good blueprint for how to use the warranty companies. They got a good list of warranty companies that they recommend in the boot camp. Check that out. If it's not a good relationship both ways, if it's not good for both parties, and I'm not talking about a huge win for both parties, if it don't work for you, then it don't work for you. Zach had tried NSA, and they're paying like $90 a job, and he only took the jobs that was beneficial. If he was in the area and he could bring the part, he took the job. Know that you can decline work as well. So that's my quick answer.
Yeah, use them as stepping stones. Use them for what they are. And I will say the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind, and I was just talked with Jennifer Clements about this, who's the podcast that's dropping tomorrow morning. Have an exit strategy. When you are working with warranty companies, make sure you have an exit strategy in place, knowing that they are just stepping stones to the next piece, right? So, yeah, exactly. Use warranty companies as they intend to use you. They intend to use you, use them.
Yep.
100%. I can't
like Phil
any more than I do.
Phil Malinjow. I don't know how to say his last name.
Malinjow.
Phil M from Georgia, Atomic Tech. Look him up. He enjoys answering questions. Shout out to Phil, and you're welcome for getting all the spam calls now that I'm sending to you. He's mastered the warranty game. He prefers warranty. So that'd be a good way to do that. He's using them in a way that benefits him greatly and them greatly. And that is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly business. It is strictly business. You're not married to them.
And our favorite rep,
Our favorite
Samsung
Rob
rep.
Jones. All right.
And there you go. There's your answer.
So, I gotta go.
Dropping the podcast tomorrow. Look at the top. It'll be up there in the Appliance Alliance group. I will drop it on the Service Alliance page as well. We will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, everyone.